Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Wednesday, March 13th, 2019.
Commissioners Garcia, Cabello, James, and Davis are present. We have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, beginning with the Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Seffi Wiles, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Reza Bagherzadeh, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Cecile Buncio, Sanitation.
Good morning, Jay Wong, Street Lighting.
Nick Lopez, Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Good morning, Raul Mendoza, Assistant Executive Officer. President James, we do not have any cards under Neighborhood Council commentary. We do have one card under General Public Comment and cards under items 1 through 6, as well as 11 and 12, or 12 and 13, sorry.
Okay, let's go ahead with agenda item number 1, Mr. Mendoza. You have bids to be opened today for the secondary sewer renewal program, Avalon Boulevard and Lameda Boulevard. The estimate is $1,212,051, and it's in Council District 15. So we'll go ahead and open those bids.
So for the item, or the project that President James described, secondary sewer renewal program, Avalon and Lameda Boulevard, the first bid received is from Ramona Incorporated with a total bid amount of $1,473,437 even. That's $1,473,437. The second bid received is from Mike Perlich and Sons Incorporated with a total bid amount of $1,980,856 even. That's $1,980,856. And the third and final bid received is from MNR Construction Incorporated with a total bid amount of $2,001,492 even. That's $2,001,492. And that'll conclude the bids for this SSRP project.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Herman, you have a card in on number 1?
No answer to bid. I feel you discriminate. You do not allow additional bidders to underbid who are white niggers to accept conditions of the bid. You heard $2 million nigger dollars, not no enough. Me no go college cause I too dumb nigger too. Parents don't pay nigger college to pay for me to contribute how to sewer renewal program. You know I find you discriminate against nigger cause I no speak English and bid underbid. I no have million bond to represent nigger like I. So you no have time to me know what time to stop. Speaking on item 1, you know, I know, nigger has to answer to questions. Sentinel nigger should put in report newspaper so other bitches like me, nigger, can come to work with my bond. Other than that, DOJ tells me to tell you, fuck you.
On agenda item number 1, is there a second to my motion for an order that the bids be received, open, and declared forthwith by Commissioners Cabello and Davis? Any objection? Without objection, that'll be the order. Agenda item number 12. This is an administrative item being sent back for signature. The mayor has authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of the Bureau of Engineering to execute a contract with Hargraves Associates for a term of 54 months and a cost not to exceed $1,450,000 for a landscape architectural and engineering design services contract to develop a master plan for the Silver Lake Reservoir Complex project. Mr. Herman, you have a card in on number 12.
see no purpose to provide natural mandate, not through mayor. Mayor discriminates to I on behalf of the Bureau of Engineers. I no contract, have no degree to comprehend contract deal. 54 months should be 666 months to approve not to exceed niggas $1 million for 50 requests. I not know landscape architect too well, but I loudly defend the national elimination of discrimination against individuals with disability. Architecture design no report around landscape for niggers who have Civil Rights Act of 1964 protected. You know better, Mr. Mayor. You fuck with nigger. Now nigger comes to City Hall to protest civil rights action because I too enjoy landscape to decompress my nigger mind so you can know I am master puppet. Master puppet, no degree. I fuck Philippines, come here my country to build new architecture landscape. That's why we in our country don't let you white niggas destroy our country. You write on wall, we chop your fuck finger. So we preserve landscape. Fuck you, Mario Eric Garcetti, and fuck you, white nigger too.
I'm on agenda item number 12. Is there a second to my motion that we approve agenda item number 12 forthwith by Commissioner Davis and Commissioner Garcia? Any objection? With that objection, we will do so. Agenda item number 14, there's been a request by, it looks like Metro, to continue the item to Wednesday, 2 weeks, to Wednesday, March 27th, 2019. So without objection, agenda item number 14 will be continued to March 27th. Mr. Mendoza?
Would you like to take the speaker card now or?
No. We'll do that on March 27th. Thank you. Agenda item number 2, assessment hearing number 1, Council District 15, 6th Street and Harbor Boulevard, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing March 20th, 2019. Mr. Herman, you have a card in on number 2.
Individual, no Joe Busquiano like me. I sleep in Long Beach, Harbor, in Harbor Boulevard sidewalk, and no fucking street light. I sleep in the dark because Joe Busquiano nigger sold us out to developer. Developer push immigrant like me into Fox Street. Now I cannot sleep in the dark or in the light. You know what you do to people who cannot sleep. I found agreement, history of purposeful unequal treatment, regulated position to political powerlessness for me to enjoy society. You send people like you did off San Pedro and Ninth to sweep my nigger ass off street. I don't sleep with rats, I sleep with homeless, skid row nigger, as you call us. But you know, since I know Joe Busquiano sold us out to developers, took lots of money and blamed Ms. John Han. Ms. John Han, somewhat good lady, but not too tour. You know women lie too like men, all they want is cock.
On number 2, Bureau of Street Services, Jay. Mr. Wong? Oh, there you are, Jay. Hi.
Jay Wong, Street Lighting. Item 2 pertains to a lighting district which we are creating in conjunction with a city-initiated general improvement project. Items 3 through 7 pertain to lighting districts which we are
I've
creating.
only got item 2, Jay. We're going to have to do them one at a time.
The ballots for item 2 were mailed on January 31st, 2019. Ballots for item 2 must be received by the city clerk's office by next Wednesday, March 20th, 2019. We have not received any objections to date on items 2. We are requesting for the board to adopt and forward item 2 forthwith to City Council.
Any questions on item 2? Commissioner Garcia has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 2. I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 2. Any issues sending it forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Agenda item number 3, assessment hearing number 2 today, Council District 4, Lexington Avenue and Hudson Avenue, Street Lighting and Maintenance Assessment District. This is set for City Council hearing also on March 20th, 2019. Mr. Herman, you have a card in on number 2. I'm sorry, on number 3.
Yeah, I know who's in CD4. I know what he hasn't done for me and some 43 million Americans who have no place more than to cope with our physical and mental disabilities off of Lexington Avenue and Hudson Avenue. If I'm not right, I know this nigger politician very well, married to a black coot, but he don't provide enough lighting, enough maintenance, and how do we assert this district? You keep billing us with taxes to pay for additional lights when lights don't get fixed or torn down by some goddamn white motherfucking politician drunk on a DUI who smashes down light poles. So you see, after taking time to increase the population of lighting, I am grieving on behalf of the elderly and those who have been unfortunate by the mental disabilities they not acquire when lights don't work. You can't push street light to work, light don't work. So in CD4, that fucking Jew know better. You don't put light, I stand on street corner, hail to the light industry, hail to the maintenance of street lights, and hail to Lexington Avenue in the name of my God, Satan 666.
Mr. Wong on agenda item number 3.
Item number 3 pertains to a lighting district which we are creating in conjunction with private development projects. Ballots for item 3 were mailed on January 31st, 2019. Ballots for item number 3 must be received by the city clerk's office by next Wednesday, March 20th, 2019. We have not received any objections to date on item number 3. We are requesting the board to adopt and forward item 3 forthwith to City Council.
Okay, no objections were received on number 3. Any questions? Commissioner Garcia's got a motion on number 3, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 3. Any issues sending number 3 forthwith? We'll send number 3 forthwith. Agenda item number 4 is assessment hearing number 3 this morning, also in Council District 4, Tierra Street and Calhoun Avenue, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing March 20th, 2019. Mr. Herman, you have a card in on number 4. Mr. Herman passes number 4. Any questions on number 4? Commissioner Garcia has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 4, seconded by Commissioners Cabello and Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 4. Any issues sending it forthwith? We'll send number 4 forthwith. Agenda item number 5, Council District 3, assessment hearing 4. Topanga Canyon Boulevard and Burbank Boulevard, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing set for March 20th, 2019. Mr. Herman on number 5.
Very true, Topanga Canyon Boulevard, niggers near Burbank Boulevard. Nigerian mayor from Burbank say to me, white nigger, City Council hearing postponed under file number 18/0900 SOC 122, Mayor Garcetti. You know better to learn, work, walk, see, hear, speak, breathe, and maintain social relationship. You don't provide Topanga Canyon Boulevard with equal lighting for homeless population on sidewalk and streets. No, you send sanitation nigger to pick up our belongings and sweep off street. You know you discriminate. I know you hate white nigger politician like me who defend the rights of those who cannot learn, walk, see, hear, speak, breathe, maintain social relationship. So now you hear my objection. I oppose of more lights in Topanga Canyon. Burbank wants dark. Dark is good for you. Hide you from smoking crack. You get to drink and no nigga see you in dark. Thank you.
Number 5, Mr. Wong, go ahead.
Item 5 pertains to a lighting district which we are creating in conjunction with private development projects. Ballots for item 5 were mailed January 31st, 2019. Ballots for item number 5 must be received by the city clerk's office by Wednesday, March 20th, 2019. We have not received any objections to date on item number 5. We are requesting for the board to adopt and forward item 5 forthwith to City Council.
Okay, any questions on number 5? No questions on number 5. Commissioner Garcia has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 5. I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 5. Can we send number 5 forthwith? Which we will do. Agenda item number 6 is assessment hearing number 5, Council District number 2. Strom Avenue and Burbank Boulevard, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing March 20th, 2019. Mr. Herman, you have a card in on number 6.
Your Honor, I'm here in opposition to testify that Paul Krikorian is a racist. People who are perceived as disabled by others, whether or not they actually have a disability, are covered by laws that protect us from racist Armenian motherfucker. I know motherfucker Armenian. Sneak into Turkey country to steal from niggas, street lights. We say no. Civil Rights Action 1964, Department of Justice, purposeful unequal treatment, political powerlessness in our society, no stereotype assumption. I know assumption. I know Catholic Church. Catholic Church take money from Jose Huiza and money laundering. Fuck Catholic Church. Key aspect, FBI investigation Jose Huiza. Jose Huiza is a wetback. Wetback with major discrimination faced by people like me day to day with disability. So I know Paul Krikorian and his fat wife. I know H-Rag, his little son. He too paid college for son to suck dick so he can get free college, not I. I, with 43 million Americans, have one or more physical and mental disability. Number is increasing because you treat white nigger too like Jew, unlike individuals who experience discrimination for no light strict.
Hey,
Fuck
Mr.
you.
Herman, thank you, sir. Mr. Wong on agenda item number 6.
Item 6 pertains to a lighting district which we are creating in conjunction with private development projects. Ballots for item 6 were mailed January 31st, 2019. Ballots for item 6 must be received by the city clerk's office by next Wednesday, March 20th, 2019. We have not received any objections to date on item 6. We are requesting the board to adopt and forward item 6 forthwith to City Council.
Any questions on number 6? Commissioner Garcia has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 6, seconded by Commissioner Cabello. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 6. Agenda item number 7. Agenda item number 7, assessment hearing, Council District number 5. Mr. Herman. You do not have a card on number 7 anyway. Mr. Herman passes number 7. This is Venice Boulevard and National Boulevard Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District. Council hearing March 20th, 2019. Mr. Wong.
Item 7 pertains to a lighting district which we are creating in conjunction with private development projects. Ballots for item number 7 were mailed on January 31st, 2019. Ballots for item 7 must be received by the City Clerk's office by next Wednesday, March 20th, 2019. We have not received any objections to date on item 7. We are requesting the board to adopt and forward item 7 forthwith to City Council.
Thank you, Mr. Wong. Any questions? Commissioner Garcia has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 7, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt number 7. Any issues sending number 7 forthwith? We'll send 7 forthwith. We are through the assessment hearing notifications this morning. Bureau of Engineering, agenda item number 8, Council District 13, task order solicitation number 004D is in dog, SOMAS. Recommending that the board first authorize the city engineer to issue the task order solicitation to SOMAS from the pre-qualified on-call bridge and civil engineering and other design and support services consultants list to provide design support during construction and construction engineering services for the Glendale Hyperion Complex of Bridges Phase 1 project as stated in TOS number 04D with a budget authority of $413,201, which includes contingency. And Mr. Herman, you put in a card on number 8? Mr. Herman passes number 8. Mr. Asfor. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners, President James. My name is Andrew Asfor with the Bureau of Engineering Bridge Improvement Division. I'm here to present the board report to request the authority to issue Task Order 004D to the consulting engineering firm SOMAS to provide design support during construction and construction engineering services for the Glendale Hyperion Complex of Bridges, Phase 1, Red Car Pedestrian Bridge Project. The scope of the project consists of the construction of a prefabricated steel truss pedestrian bridge over the Los Angeles River to the downstream of the existing complex of bridges at Glendale Boulevard and Hyperion Avenue. The project was awarded to Reyes Construction on February 15th. On October 19th, 2018, the city issued a task order solicitation for design support during construction and construction engineering services for the project and requested proposals from all 10 firms on the pre-qualified on-call consultant list for the bridge improvement program. The city received one proposal from SOMAS in response to the TOS. Upon detailed review of the proposal, the city determined that SOMAS adequately provided all the relevant information and was deemed to be the most qualified firm to provide the services as requested. The city entered into negotiations with SOMAS on December 28, 2018 and reviewed the cost proposal by scope, which included all the tasks required by the TOS, which includes major items such as review of technical submittals, technical supports, and ensuring compliance with environmental requirements in coordination with the governing agencies. The city accepted SOMAS's revised cost proposal dated January 24th, 2019 in the amount of $413,210, which includes contingency. There is adequate funding available for the project in the MICLA, Municipal Improvement Corporation of Los Angeles Commercial Paper Fund. Also, in accordance with the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise DBE program, SOMAS has pledged a 6.06 total DBE percentage. And this concludes my presentation.
And during the briefing, Mr. Asfor, I asked the same question I'll ask now in the public hearing. You've referenced it already, but just when we have one respondent, in essence, one applicant,
Yes.
One bidder, in other words, I just want to be sure that the Bureau of Engineering is satisfied with the negotiations and the price that the number that we've reached that will be coming out of the MICLA fund.
Yes, we are happy with the price that we received. We did a detailed negotiation with them. We reviewed all the tasks that were in accordance with the TOS provided. We only received one proposal, but SOMAS has been with the project since the beginning. They were with us through design phase.
That's probably why you only received one, since SOMAS has been there since the beginning. Others are not going to spend their time to participate
That's a fair
in the process.
assessment, yes.
Okay. That was the reason for that as well, true?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Commissioner Caballo's made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 8, seconded by Commissioner Garcia. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 8. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any issue sending number 8 forthwith? We'll send number 8 forthwith. Agenda item number 9, Council Districts 1, 4, 9, 12, and 13. Construction Order Sidewalk Repair Program, Package number 41 project. recommending that the board first authorize the city engineer to issue a construction order and a notice to proceed for the project to John S. Meek Company Incorporated in the amount of $738,752 with a not-to-exceed limit of $886,502, including contingency. Secondly, issue a separate contract number for the project. And third, authorize myself or two members of the board to execute the contract to comply with previous contract amendments after approval as to a form has been obtained from the city attorney. No cards on number 9. Ms. Kim.
Good morning. I am Alice Kim with the Bureau of Engineering Sidewalk Division. I am here to request the board to authorize the issuance of the construction order for the sidewalk repair program, package number 41, to John S. Meek Company, Inc., an amount of $738,752 with a not-to-exceed amount of $886,502 to repair sidewalks adjacent to 5 city facilities and to issue a separate contract number. To give you some background, on February 3rd, 2015, the City Council directed the Bureau of Engineering to repair sidewalk adjacent to city facilities and to utilize existing city contracts. For fiscal year 2018-19, the sidewalk repair program was allocated $31 million in response to Willits versus City of Los Angeles settlement agreement. Due to the importance of this agreement, on November 1st, 2018, the Bureau of Engineering received authorizations from Commissioner Jacinto to use the emergency pre-qualified on-call geotechnical structural contractor list for bidding package number 41. The scope of work includes sidewalk, curb ramp, driveway, curb and gutter replacement and installations, tree root canopy pruning, tree removal and replanting, asphalt concrete patches, and furnishing and installing pull boxes. The 5 city facility sites include Chevy Chase Park and Recreation Center at the cross streets of Chevy Chase Drive and Alger Street, 109th Street Recreation Center at 109th Street and Compton Avenue, Aliso Canyon Park, Rinaldi at Rinaldi Street and Zelza Avenue, Pico Union Park at Hoover Street and Washington Boulevard, and lastly, Battalion 5, Fire Station 35 at Hillhurst and Canyon Avenue. On January 14, 2019, bids were solicited from the 7 emergency pre-qualified on-call geotechnical structural construction services contractors. On January 29, 2019, 4 bids were received from the project, and the lowest responsible bidder for package number 41 was John S. Meek Company, Inc. As for funding, the funding has been secured under the sidewalk repair program fund. Moreover, a separate contract number will need to be issued due to the expiration date of the existing terms of the emergency pre-qualified on-call geostructural contractor list. This issue was brought to Assistant City Attorney Ted Jordan's attention, and he is in concurrence. The Bureau of Engineering estimates that the duration of the project will be completed beyond the expiration date of May 11, 2019. Therefore, it is the staff's recommendation to issue the construction order for package number 41 to John X. Meeks in the amount of $738,752 with a not-to-exceed limit of $886,502 and to issue a separate contract number. This concludes my report, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Ms. Kim? Thank you, ma'am. I don't have any questions either. Commissioner Davis has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 9. I'll second it along with Commissioner Garcia. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 9. Thank you, ma'am. Agenda item number 11, emergency on-call geotechnical structural construction services for various public works projects, recommending that the board declare Environmental Construction Incorporated and Green Building Corporation to be non-responsive as discussed in the report. No card on number 11. Mr. Garcia.
Hello, Pedro Garcia with the Bureau of Engineering. This item was continued from the from the February 25th meeting, where the board requested that we notify Green Building Corporation and Environmental Construction, Inc. that their statement of qualifications didn't meet the minimum score to be considered for this contract. On February 25th, we did send a letter to both of those companies advising them of that, and giving them until March 6th to appeal, to submit a letter to us in appeal. We didn't receive any appeal from either of those two companies. So, that concludes my staff report.
I'm sorry, would you repeat that one more time?
Yes, on February 25th, the board requested that we notify ECI, or
Yes.
Environmental Construction Inc., and Green Building that they were not, that their statement of qualifications didn't meet the minimum score to be considered for these contracts. So on February 25th, we sent a letter to both of them advising them of that. On March 6th, we gave them until March 6th to respond and appeal. Yep. And they, neither of them appealed the decision.
Which is what we thought.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, but we did that. Thank you for doing that, Mr. Garcia. Then we'll adopt agenda item number 11. Mr. Jordan, does that clear up everything on number 11?
Absolutely.
Okay, great, thank you. So that was Commissioner Davis's motion. I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 11. Thank you, sir. Any issue sending number 11 forthwith? We'll send number 11 forthwith. Agenda item number 13. We have our oral reports on monthly status of contracts expiring within 90 days. Mr. Herman, you have 10 seconds left today.
Fuck all your bureaus for discrimination against homeless people and our American veterans that you push off the sidewalks and streets. You disgraceful motherfuckers, you white nigger politicians. Fuck you.
Mr. Spinner on number 13.
Can do in 10 fucking seconds, yes. So we don't have a fucking clock. The clocks are broke. The people are broke. You have all of our fucking money. Look at them outside at City Hall. Now you can trim the trees. Now you can make things look so fucking pretty just because a few little vermin came into City Hall. Rats came into City Hall because this fucking place is a rat trap. That's right. We know that rats are not just with little tails. Rats are people too. Yes, the rats that turned in Jose Weezer, for example, they have beady eyes and fucking tails, yes. You want to exterminate them, but you have to do it like Adolf Hitler. Not like 1-800-CATS. Yes, you don't go meow to get rid of snitches. Snitches get bitches who are going to get snitches in your report. Because you know if the FBI doesn't indict that fucking piece of shit Jose Weezer, all the witnesses will be executed, including the former council clown Mitchell Englander who decided to be a rat. So we have a rat, and he lives on Rainbow Ridge in the 12th District. Go up there, sanitation. Go up there and take that Mitchell Englander, that fucking rat, put him in one of your pretty yellow trucks, and throw his fucking ass down the fucking LA River into the ocean. You disgusting flea-bitten fucking snitch felon cocksucker. You no good rat. That's what this report is about. It expires in 90 days. I say send it forthwith. All snitches, all of you will go down the fucking drain.
Item number 13,
Fuck you all.
Ms. Kuroki.
Reservoir Garza Engineering.
One moment. We're going to start with Sherry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. Good morning, Commissioners, Bureau Rep, City Attorney, Executive Officer. My name is Sherry Kuroki. I'm with Sanitation. Here to present our monthly contract status report for February 2019. We have 10 contracts expiring within the next 120 days. Seven of them will be renewed. I've actually gone over this in the last quarterly, so I'll go over them briefly. The first one is with Myron Electric. That's for specialized high voltage services, and we'll be exercising the third one-year renewal option containing that contract. Next one is with USA Waste of California, doing business as waste management. This is for El Sobrante landfill. for disposal services for residual municipal solid waste, and sanitation will be exercising a 6-month renewal option contained in that contract. And you'll be hearing more about that on the special agenda number 2 today, this morning. The next 4, Ecology Auto Parts, K&A Transportation, Mario's Trucking, and CR&R, are for hauling services from Clark's, and we will be exercising a 5-year renewal option contained in that contract. The 7th one to be renewed is with Electronic Recyclers International for e-waste collection and recycling services, and we will be exercising a 3-year renewal option contained in that contract. 3 of our contracts won't be renewed. Hoffman, DBA Professional Pipe Services, and National Plant Services for sewer condition assessment. We'll be executing new contracts with selected proposers from the RFP process. And the 3rd one, on-site truck washing, that's for mobile fleet washing, and we'll be executing contracts with selected proposers from the RFQ process. And that concludes my report.
Great, thank you, Sherry. I don't have any questions, but thank you for your patience in working with us in our request to move the item to today from a couple of weeks ago.
No problem. Thank you.
Reza, so Bureau of Engineering, thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Sure. Engineering has 12 personal services contract that will expire or have been expired within the 90 days from March 1st, 2019. The board report to extend 10 on-call engineering consultant contract has been approved by your board on February 11, 2019. We're currently waiting for the CIO's report for the mayor's office before council consider the items. So no extension are necessary for 2 contracts, and they have been archived since their expiration.
Any questions for engineering? Okay, thank you, sir. Ms. Kim on contract administration. Good morning.
Good morning, President James, Commissioners, Bureau Executives, and Mr. Jordan. My name is Heidi Kim, and I'm with the Office of Wage Standards, Bureau of Contract Administration. The Bureau has 12 contracts with the following 12 contractors expiring on May 4th, 2019. Center for Living and Learning, Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights of LA, Community Partners for LA Black Worker Center, Cynthia M. Ruiz and Associates, Garment Worker Center, HR Biz, Korean American Apparel Manufacturers Association, Koreatown Immigrant Workers Alliance with Clean Car Wash Campaign, Restaurant Opportunity Center, Wage Justice Center, Warehouse Worker Resource Center, and the Thai Community Development Center, which was omitted on your memos. These contractors are on the pre-qualified on-call community and business outreach consultants list for various wage standards enforcement and implementation projects that was adopted and executed by this board in May of 2016. In advance of the expiration of these 12 contracts, the Office of Wage Standards secured the board's approval for a request for qualifications, and the resulting contracts was established a new on-call list in February last month. The 10 contractors on this new PQOC list will provide assistance to the city on various wage standards enforcement and city labor standards projects. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any questions at all for Heidi? Thank you, Ms. Kim, appreciate it.
Thank you.
So the oral report will be received on number 13. That takes us to number 10, I believe. We have not done number 10 yet. Number 10, Executive Office, Request for Proposals, RFP. Mobile Pit Stop Bathroom and Showers Programs, recommending that the board first authorize the Executive Officer to first release the transmitted request for proposals for facilities attendant and monitoring services of permanent, temporary, portable, and automatic public toilets, and operation of mobile shower trailers and related attendant and monitoring services. Secondly, evaluate the RFP submissions, select and interview the most qualified proposers who submit the best and most responsive proposal. And third, negotiate any proposed contract with the most responsive proposers subsequent to the receipt and objective review of all the proposals submitted in response to the transmitted RFP. And then secondly, direct the Executive Officer to return here to the Board of Public Works for authority to award and execute the contract or contracts with a term period sufficient to provide the described services. Number 10, Mr. Spindler, you have a card. I would note Mr. Herman has a card. His time has expired. Mr. Spindler.
So we have the bathrooms, the promises. You go to the Red Line in Studio City.
No, it's Universal.
Sorry, sir. Universal City, and you can't take a fucking shit before you get on the train. You go to the area over there in North Hollywood, and you want to use the facilities. That's what Mr. Davis called it when he was growing up. He called it the facilities, known as a bathroom, yes. So now you can't do that either. The only time you can take a fucking shit over in the Red Line to the Orange Line bus is if you buy a cup of coffee from that place over there, the coffee station, they call it. It looks like a little train station, a pretty little train station with a couple of bathrooms. But they won't give you the code unless you make a purchase. You fucking slave owners, you cocksuckers, that's what you do. And now you want to have an attendant? Now when I wipe my ass, am I going to have somebody watch that? When I wipe my ass, I want to do it in privacy.
Well said, privacy.
Yes, privacy. I've been listening to the way you talk like the fucking Brits. Yes. Privacy. Privacy, yes. So we want to have privacy. We want to have our ability to take a piss in quiet. We do not want people videotaping the urinals. Because when they videotape the urinals, they give it to Nuri Martinez, who looks for candidates for her strip clubs and her other types of facilities of danger. So immediately, forthwith, we make the following motion. One, put the fucking bathrooms over at the Red Line station over there in Universal City.
2 minutes.
And number
Mr.
two,
Mendoza on
let us take
agenda
a shit
item
in
number
peace.
10.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning,
Morning.
sir.
Morning, Mr. President, Commissioners, Bureau Representatives, Mr. Jordan. So we're here today requesting authority to release and advertise our request for proposals for the mobile pit stop program, as well as the upcoming mobile showers program. So, we started this mobile pit stop program, putting bathroom attendants at different bathrooms and increasing public access to restrooms throughout the city. We started in February 2018. We got additional funding and basically took it through July 2019. And the idea was always that if we were able to continue beyond that time frame funding, then we would release an RFP to kind of test the market, get the most competitive bids. So since that time, a couple things have happened. One, the county board of supervisors introduced a motion and adopted a report basically looking to utilize some of their existing mobile shower trailers that we could potentially use and other providers as well. So we're working on a no-cost agreement with the county right now, which will come to board probably within the next month or two, basically with the ability to use those trailers. There's 4 of them available to us that we can use and provide mobile shower service in addition to our mobile pit stop program. The second thing that happened was in July or August 2018, the city got $85 million from the state of California Homeless Emergency Aid Program, which is a grant program designed to provide direct assistance to cities in addressing the homeless crisis. So for us at the Board of Public Works, we got $6.5 million, which was to basically continue the mobile pit stop program, add 6 additional locations, and then also do the mobile showers program. So with that additional funding, the goal is to do this RFP, have contracts in place before this existing contract expires on July 31st. And we will have contractors apply kind of in 2 categories, one for the mobile pit stop program for the toilets, and then one on the mobile showers side. The result of the RFP and the contracts that we execute could either be one provider for everything. We could split it up between the 2 services. Maybe we do multiple providers. The market will kind of dictate kind of what we do. So with that, the bids would be due on April 17, 2019, and we're asking for your approval to release.
Great. We'll see what the market turns up for us. We'll start with Commissioner Davis.
My understanding is we've received somewhere of $6 million out of all of the allocation given from the county to implement this program. Is that pretty accurate, is what you told me?
Not from the county, from the state of California. We're going to get $6 million, and that'll be to continue the program, yes.
And of the 6 million plus, how much of that portion of dollars will be allocated towards the mobile stop program? And I understand that includes both showers and toilets, but how much of the dollars are we targeting for that specific program?
For the toilets is going to be about 4 million, and the showers about 2 million.
About 3 million?
2 million.
2 million. Is there a basic plan that we have? I understand that our scope of service is all 15 council districts. Is there some general goal that we have in terms of implementation of toilets and showers for each of the districts? Is there some goal to have a certain number of each in each council district, or where are we in terms of the plan?
So I would say that it's a citywide program. However, kind of the model or the way that we've identified locations has been in a couple ways. One, with the HEAP funding, the Homeless Emergency Aid Program, the idea from the CAO's office was given to council offices and instructions that basically asked them to introduce motions if they wanted to add locations in their cities or in their council districts. So not all council districts applied or asked to put restrooms in their district, and so we complied with that, and the ones that did we're including. And then secondly, there was also a report, kind of the initial selection of locations was based on a CAO report and analysis of Department of Public Health data that identified areas where there were high areas of high population of homeless individuals without access to bathrooms within a close proximity.
So in our request for proposal, when vendors present to us their proposal, given the data that we have received in terms of where homeless presents itself more often, then we would expect a proposal that would be responsive to those heavily populated areas where homeless needs exist.
Yeah, very much so. So the RFP will actually list kind of a preliminary list of locations that we've identified in conjunction with the CAO's office, also with the county on the showers portion. So they'll have an idea of where they should be going.
So is it realistic to expect that there are some areas that would obviously have a greater need for some of the spending of this money and the implementation of these services of both toilets and showers than other areas?
Yes, definitely. And even in fact, on the showers portion, we're actually dedicating one trailer just to the Skid Row area. So there's kind of that balance. But yeah, definitely some areas with more needs than others.
And so again, we would expect that the vendors that present their proposals would be able to, with the data that we will discuss with them, to give us a proposal that would be responsive to what the data tells us the needs are.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Mr. Mendoza, I don't have any questions. I just want to congratulate you and your team on getting to this point. This was, I know, a goal we had all hoped to get to. This program has been well received in the press. It's been well received, which means it's been well received by the public. We had an award ceremony, a recognition ceremony just a couple of weeks ago. It's making a difference in communities with people that are finding their way back into to productive employment and changing their lives. Just everything about this program is great. And obviously, we work to a point that we don't need it, but right now we do. And we're happy to see the progress, and we hope the funding continues to come. And thank you for your leadership and the administration of your team in implementing this. And with that, I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 10, seconded by Commissioners Cabello and Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 10. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Thank you. We'll see what the market brings us.
Yeah. One last thing. I just wanted to introduce Mike, who's new to our office, but he's going to be taking over the mobile pit stop program.
Great. Okay.
So
Hi, Mike.
Before you.
You have big shoes to fill. We look forward to working with you.
Good morning, commissioners and executive officers. It's my pleasure to join the board office and participate in operating all these programs. I will utilize my knowledge and experience to expedite the process and accomplish all the milestones as soon as possible. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, sir. Let's go to, let's wait one moment. Is there a second to my motion that we approve the meeting minutes see what meetings I've got. From Wednesday, February 6, 2019 by Commissioner Cabello. Any objection? Without objection, we'll approve those meeting minutes. Mr. Mendoza, have we cleared the desk except for general public comment?
Yes, you have.
Okay, general public comment. Mr. Herman, you had your card in first.
Individuals with disabilities are a discrete and insular minority who have been faced with restrictions and limitations, subjected to a history of purposeful, unequal treatment regarding your items of sidewalk and streets, Willits versus Los Angeles on item number 10, old business. And you've regulated the positions of political powerlessness in our society based on characteristics to control disabled individuals and resulting from stereotyping like Danny Bakewell of the Sentinel, who truly indicates his white society of niggas. The ability to non-structured individuals like myself to participate in a service under the ADA of program, service, and activities. So fuck Danny Bakewell and fuck your fake news. Don't be making allegations that Wayne Spindler hates you white niggas. He was simply trying to save the ratepayers from being dicked by DWP, sticking Eric's dirty dick up your ass, who puts up his ass, Glenn Day. And God hates homosexuals as much as I do. So take your fucking homophobic bullshit to your closets and lock it up. It's time to reform America and make it great once and for all. Civil liberties and civil disobedience is what we're going to bring forward to eliminate white nigger politicians and their slumlord conditions in LA. And yes, you are going to put portable restrooms, but I'm putting on the record, Mr. Jordan, anyone slips and falls, you will be liable.
Thank you, Mr. Herman. Mr. Spinner, you have a card in on general public comment.
So as I told you, you seem to forgot you had a fifth commissioner, fool. So where is Joel Jacinto? What'd you do with him, fool? See, you take his name away, you take away everything. You say his seat is vacant. See, you were over there in the other room putting his ass on television as the first Asian American member of this body, and he's the new generation and all of this shit. Now, you put your fucking heads down when I say Joel Jacinto. You put your fucking heads down. Now, you sold out your brother, one of you five. And that means he can rat your ass out to the FBI in exchange for an agreement. Is that what you want? You didn't stand up for your friend Joel. And how many fucking times did I come here and say, Joel? And he said, yeah, nigga. I says, you need to resign to get the fuck away from Kevin James because he's an FBI rat. How many times did I say it? 20 times, 30 times, 40 times. I says, Joe, these motherfuckers are not your kind of people. They niggers use a white man. And he don't listen to me, he listened to you liars, and now he's hiding under his covers, waiting for the FBI to knock on the door and say you're under arrest for felonies because we can't indict the mayor of Los Angeles because we have no fucking pussy guts. We a bunch of FBI pussy cunts. We gotta indict the little people. We can't indict the mayor because we don't have the guts to goddamn put Eric Garcetti in federal prison because we're a bunch of goddamn juju birds working for the fucking juju birds. So we have to take everybody down except the main criminal gangster Eric Garcetti because we just a bunch of goddamn juju birds. We're working for the Jews. We're a juju bird. Fuck you. And goddamn help that fucking man, Mr. Joe Jacinto, because he's just a nigga here.
Mr. Mendez, Ms. Mendoza, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you. We are adjourned from our regular meeting. Mr. Melendez, Mr. Mendoza, I'm sorry, would you call the order on the first special?
Yes, Commissioner Garcia, Cabello, James, and Davis are present. We have a quorum for the special agenda. No cards under public comment, one card on, or two cards under.
We don't have public comment on special meeting, but we do have a card. Mr. Jordan?
Mr. Chair, there's no requirement in our special meeting to have general public comment.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, the facts of that case are different than this situation.
No, wait.
There's no general public comment required, nor is it indicated on our agenda.
Mr. Mendoza, go ahead and we'll start the clock on it. Mr. Spindle, go ahead.
You motherfuckers are going to sit there and try to fucking tell me, Jordan, you think I'm a stupid nigger? Eric Previn kicked your city attorney's fat fucking ass in a 2nd District Court, Division 1, and a 3-0 decision. Now, we're working to get it a published decision so the whole state of California can hear that every special meeting called under the Ralph M. Brown Act, you must take public comment if a card is submitted on the subject matter. And you goddamn scheduled these 2 special meetings because you think we stupid niggers. You think we stupid niggas? I've been a nigger for 24 years with the nigger bar. And that's the reason why I came here today, because they told me, is he going to cashew public comment? Because yesterday I was told you were going to do just that. You were going to hold 2 fucking special meetings and not hold public comment, and I got your ass. Now you're violating a court decision. Your city attorney knows about Previn versus the city of Los Angeles. He knows the case number. He knows the plaintiff. He knows the plaintiff's attorney. He knows what the issue was. And you got beat. And you, for years, we have been coming to these special meetings. You've been denying public comment. And that little fucking cockroach, Herb Cockroach Wesson, has been fucking us and not taking special comment because he says it was held in committee. And it doesn't matter. And we got your ass. Now, that's the reality. That's what we do. And you know why we did it? Because you won't write me a fucking check so I can get the fuck out of this city. I just want to get out of this fucking city. But no, you know what? We're going to fuck with Wayne. So you got niggered on that fool.
Mr. Herman, your general public comment on this special meeting.
Mr. Jordan, it's apparent you haven't learned Eric Previn versus the City of Los Angeles in the 2nd District Court under the Brown Act. And yet you still wish to challenge us broadly to defy our ability to represent the City of Los Angeles under your smear of nonsense and bullshit, incompetence and incoherent to follow the law. If you want my white nigger to follow your laws of the Brown Act, you will follow them too. Because as you heard, we are the legislative body who decides what's good and what's good interest for the public. And we're not going to sit back and take your big white dick up our ass as we shove it down your mouth as we done today, for the record. Suck dick, Mr. City Attorney Mike Fuhr. Follow your fucking rules. And I'm glad to know that the case number, the case date, and the fact that Eric Previn and I walked into a special meeting, talk about the border wall, and support Trump, and you fucking Democrat niggers don't want us to represent our so-called president. Fuck you. Fuck your Democrat. Fuck Nancy Pelosi, that bitch who's trying to fall back on Trump. Build the fucking wall and bury your fucking district courts and shove all these fucking rules and amendments up your ass on Rule 77. Because I'm the new lawyer. I am the representative of this city, and none of those fucking niggers that live in this area ever come here and protest in opposition to how white motherfuckers like you limit us to special hearing meetings. Fuck you, for the record.
Thank you. Mr. Herman, you have, well, let's call number one before we have your comment on special number one. Special number one, license agreement, Service Line Warranties of America, Incorporated. Recommending that the board approve and forward the report with transmittals to the mayor and city council with the request that the director of the Bureau of Sanitation be authorized to execute a license agreement with Service Line Warranties of America, Incorporated, which we'll hear as the board report indicates what they do, for using the city's seal as part of their sewer lateral insurance program. Mr. Hare, one moment. They're entitled to speak on the specific item.
Okay, sorry.
Mr. Herman on number one.
Well, you see how confused we are? We got two special number ones for the record. One under C123735 for the record, and the other is 2019-0189, CD all. We have landfills, and we're filling them up with the shit you people put in City Hall. We're taking the waste that comes out of your mouth, the waste that comes out of your fucked up mind to do the disposal or the fucking city license agreement for Line Warranties of America. I'm America. I make America great when I can stand here and criticize a stupid fucking attorney, LLC Mike Fierstaffer, and the rest of you jackasses, shitholes, stupid fucking idiots. You get it? That's the reason why we are here to submit on behalf of the public's DBA what our contract deal is. We support minority business. We demand landfills to take our shit and make this fucking country the way you Democrats want it. Fill the landfills with your shit. Maxine Waters, that fucking white cunt, and that Nancy Pelosi cunt, and that fucking stupid Gavin Newsom who's saying no to 700 inmates, put their ass on the line and fry them. We don't need fucking criminals who rape fucking women, Miss Garcia. We don't need fucking criminals who fuck faggots up the ass, Kevin James, and we don't need no fucking black people sitting in prisons without being hung.
Mr. Spindler, you have a card in on number one.
Yes, thank you so much. I had to defer to my counsel. I'm sorry that things get out of hand sometimes. But you stupid assholes have an asshole, a stupid juju bird, Michael Fear, that fucking faggot, over there in the James Hahn building. Everything he touches is legal shit. This is legal shit. Previn versus Los Angeles was legal shit. City of Los Angeles and the People versus Spindler was legal shit. You remember that false gun charge? How we took and we stuck up that fucking asshole in PC 30605, PC 422A, fail again. 409, fail again. 3 arrests, fail again. 4 federal lawsuits, fail again. Everything the city attorney does is a fucking fraud. It's a pail of shit. And the reason why he still has a bar license is because you pay off everybody on 8th and Figueroa Street at that enforcement office over there called State Bar, who has all that security and pretty planters and pretty cameras to watch all the thieves go in and out. They're so scared of the public. You know what the government agency has too much security? You know what you call it? Cover up operation, a.k.a. LLC. Yes. Now, what Mr. Spindler used to do in his career?
But you can't.
But I can't. Even though I'm a puppet, I will not violate certain agreements. But I'll tell you this. Mike Fuhrer is an unqualified juju bear, juju bird, piece of shit, faggot cocksucker,
2 minutes.
and a cocksucker mayor
For
he
here on
works for.
number one. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. President, board members, Bureau reps. My name is Scott Hare. I'm with the Bureau of Sanitation, and the Bureau of Sanitation is asking for authority to execute this license agreement with Service Line Warranties of America, which I'll call SLWA. And the license agreement will authorize them to use the city seal on their literature when they advertise their services to residents of Los Angeles. The SLWA is a company that offers warranties to homeowners for a variety of utility service lines, and the one that this license agreement particularly addresses is their sewer house connection laterals. The Bureau of Sanitation's interest in this is the problem we have with root intrusion into our sewer system. They cause a variety of problems such as overflows and excessive maintenance, and the problem that a large number of the roots originate not within our main line but within the house connection laterals, and they grow down into our main line and cause the problems. Since these laterals are on private property, we cannot maintain these lines. So the Bureau of Sanitation's strategy has been to instead try to incentivize homeowners to better maintain their laterals themselves, and this is one component of that program. We would give them the permission to use the city seal because they have found that they get much better participation when they use the city seal than when they don't. So we have modeled this license agreement from previous or other license agreements they have with other cities. The city attorney's office, the CEO's risk manager, and the city clerk negotiated this with SLWA. And Bureau of Sanitation has primarily been a facilitator in this, since we have probably the largest interest in getting people to sign up for this warranty service.
Thank you, Mr. Hare. We'll start with Commissioner Davis.
In terms of the value of us licensing this particular vendor to do it, certainly we know that these repairs need to take place. But we are also saying by licensing the vendor to use the city seal that this is a vendor that we trust and that we support in being able to execute and implement the improvements on the sewer. That's what we're saying by allowing the licensing for the usage of our seal, correct?
Yes, when we put the city seal on it, we are in effect giving a certain degree of advocacy for this particular company, so to speak. And that was based largely on their track record. It's a nationwide company that has provided these services to a large number of other cities. We've modeled ours, or we started interest in this company with the services they provide down in San Diego, which is a kind of a sister city. And they've had a very good experience with this company, so it was their contract in particular that we used as a model for our contract. But the cities that we have talked to, we talked to a couple of different cities, they're pleased with the services that have been provided within their city to their citizens. So that's why we're advocating the use here with the city of LA.
And we are pleased with the services of this particular vendor as well, right?
Based on what we know, they are not working, as far as I know, they have not provided services in the city of LA yet. That's what they are hoping to provide services in the city of LA if they're able to be allowed to use the city seal.
Okay, so basically, based upon the research that we have done, we feel comfortable that this is the city, based upon the records that we've observed from other municipalities, that they have, in our research, it has been discovered that they have been successful in their implementation of these sewer services for other municipalities.
Yes, it's based on our discussions with other municipalities and how well pleased they've been with SLWA.
Will the property owners have the option of going with someone else other than this particular vendor who we are giving the license to?
Yes, we do not get involved in the business between the homeowners and SLWA at all, and they can choose. There are other companies that provide these services, and they can choose anybody they want. So we in no way will interfere with their ability to use any company they want. In exchange for SLWA being allowed to use the city seal, they have provided some positives back to the city. Residents of the city of LA will get higher than normal coverage, and they will pay a slightly reduced monthly premium. And that was what was negotiated between the city attorney and the city clerk in exchange for them being allowed to use the city seal. So that might actually incentivize residents to use SLWA, but by no means are they required to use SLWA.
Great. Well, I'm glad to hear that, that in fact, as a result of this relationship, that the city will benefit from it. I mean, obviously, I think that we're saying that we have to constituents, I think that we're saying that there's a level of evaluation that we have done to entrust the seal to this particular vendor. And I do believe, in terms of the feedback you've given, that each property owner still has the option to do whatever he or she wishes to do, but that the city has done some diligence in terms of recommending someone to provide this service. And that is, in the diligence, that we have done some research. And with that research, we feel comfortable. And I just wanted to be clear about our position as to the license and the support for this particular vendor.
Yes, we have done research, and our recommendation for, or this recommendation is based largely on that research.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Cabello.
Thank you, President James. I think this is a wonderful service that is both cost effective for both the city and for residents. I am curious, though, is there any precedence, as far as you know, and maybe the city attorney can answer this as well, for the city lending its seal for private business services to city residents? Do we happen to know either one? To vendors?
I'm not familiar. This is the only extent that I've ever gotten involved in the use of city seals. It traditionally is the role of the city clerk's office to negotiate the use of the city seal. The Bureau of Sanitation has taken the lead in this particular instance because we have the most interest in the success of the program. But I don't know if the city attorney may have a little bit more information. I'm not sure.
From time to time, the city clerk has authorized the city seal to be used by others. This is the first instance in this type of situation that I'm aware of. However, we did work pretty closely with the Bureau in assisting in their due diligence efforts, taking a look at the similar type of agreement that was entered into, I think it was by San Diego, and ensuring that there's protection against the city in terms of the indemnification in case there's a claim made. This is really being provided as a service to the residents. It's important to the city that residents maintain their own laterals properly, and this is a tool to allow them to do that. It's by no means the only way a resident can get access to a firm to do that work, but it is provided as an assistance to property owners who may not otherwise have ready access to licensed and bonded contractors to do work. The laterals is the property owner's responsibility, but good lateral health benefits us all.
Thank you, Commissioner Cabello. Commissioner Garcia.
Thank you, President James. I have just some points of clarification for myself. Is the fact that, or just based on what I read from the report, if City of LA residents pay about roughly $9-something per month is what I saw on the report here, right?
Yes.
Based on their coverage that they'll have, they will now have access, if something happens on their property, to call somebody and come out and repair it for them. Am I right?
Yes, the way the warranty works, the warranty is provided by SLWA, and so if you had an incident and you needed a repair, you would work with SLWA. They they contract with local plumbing contractors. So they would have existing service contracts with the plumbing contractors. And one of those plumbing contractors would respond to a homeowner's problem and come out there and fix the problem for them. So while SLWA is the warranty provider, they're not the actual service provider.
Got it. Yeah, it's like another question. Will there be some kind of an outreach or an opportunity, or how will the residents know that this will be available for them if they choose to?
Yeah, SLWA will conduct advertising and outreach. There's a good chance they will work with the local plumbing contractors, because local plumbing contractors have certainly a certain degree of interest in this as well. So they will advertise, but the city will not advertise the service. It will be done by SLWA.
Got it. And very last question, is this citywide?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner Garcia. Just a few things, Mr. Hare. To me, when we add the city seal, as we're providing authorization to do through the work and the negotiation of the city attorney, which, Ted, thank you to your office for that work, that indicates a partnership of some level with the city and at some level an endorsement. So I do think that this is a beneficial service to the city, though, as well. I sit on the city's risk management task force, and we're constantly finding ways to reduce liability to the city, and we end up at times in legal matters with property owners on this type of issue. This is a way for property owners to protect themselves and to do so ahead of time, and to do it in a way that is affordable. I appreciate sanitation doing the research about this company with other municipalities. I think that gives us, to Commissioner Davis's questions, some roadmap that reduces risk in choosing a company and some level of insurance of success. I would just note, Mr. Jordan, the only question I have for you is that I think from the discussion today, we've cleared up most of the questions I have about the procurement process. I would like an oral statement on the record from the city attorney's office that, for lack of a better term, the procurement process has satisfied our legal requirements under the applicable codes.
Yes, that's a good question. As you know, most of the city's contracts are awarded through some type of competitive process, either bids where we award to the lowest bidder, or proposals where we do a more across-the-board evaluation, taking into account price, quality, experience, and so on. However, the city's charter does allow us to look to other governmental entities who have entered into their own contracts, and then for us to, for the lack of a better term, piggyback on those other entities' contracts. It's reflected both in the city's charter and in the administrative code, and that's the case we did here. So we're essentially piggybacking on a contract that, and again, I think it was the city of San Diego. Yes, San Diego.
Which is, there are only a few cities that could be argued as big cities in the state of California, and that's certainly one of them. So.
Yes, and just an unrelated issue,
11, as Commissioner Cabello knows.
Going to the nature of the agreement, this is a non-exclusive contract, so if there's other firms that wish to provide the same service to the benefit of the city,
do it.
We can negotiate with them. We'd have to look at the procurement process to make sure we can contract with them. We could do an RFP if we wanted to bring on more folks. So it's a non-exclusive contract, and the contract allows the city to terminate it for its convenience. In other words, if we decide this is not a partnership that we want to continue, we can terminate the contract.
Understood. And again, this is, we're simply lending the city's seal, but that is not without some thought and deliberation, obviously, because of the endorsement and the partnership that it indicates. I would also, there's a cousin to this, maybe even a distant cousin. The gas company offers this. And my understanding, just because of experience with the gas company and dealing with some natural gas franchise issues and stuff, I'm not sure about this, but I think that they may, in essence, provide their customer list to to the insurance companies for solicitation purposes. Now, ours is different because it's not hard to figure out what the addresses are in the city of LA. But is there any exchange of customer lists one way or the other?
I don't know if we're going to be asked to provide a list of all the city residents.
The reps are saying no, so
okay,
the answer to that's no.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Just curious, but based on gas company stuff. And then Commissioner Davis, go ahead.
Well, I think you've raised a really great question about how business is done. And we know that state laws in California give prime contractors the opportunity to select whomever they wish, and that they are not compelled to have to worry about any culture that exists in the city or gender that exists in the city and the work that they do. They can make their own choice. And yet at the same time, the city of Los Angeles has values, and that they have their own rules and concepts, such as minority subcontracting minimum, and many different programs and policies and rules and regulations that reflect what the values of the city are. So having said that, in response to our president's inquiry, I think a discussion with this vendor, because they're going to have the seal of Los Angeles on it. And with that, an unspoken issue is the values of the city of Los Angeles, because they are inadvertently carrying those values with them when we authorize them to use this city seal. I think that a discussion with them about the issues that exist in the city of Los Angeles and its values is important, and I don't think there's anything in law that prevents us from having a brief discussion about that. When we look at the leadership that has been given to us by the leader of this city, our mayor, when we look at what this Board of Public Works has talked about on a daily basis in terms of those prime contractors presenting to us, we're always making it clear that our overall and overwhelming responsibility is to make sure that we have inclusion as much as is humanly possible, and certainly not sacrificing any value of service provided, but that our value clearly is inclusion to the degree that is possible. My point to you, and I'll conclude on this, is that I hope we can have a conversation, a very brief one, with this vendor about what the values of the city of Los Angeles is, what those values are moving forward.
Yeah, they've been very willing to meet with us and discuss with us any of our concerns, and I'm sure they'd have no problem with any other follow-up meetings with any members here if that was requested.
Great, thank you, Mr. Hare. And I would only add for the record on this item that I was approached directly by the offices of two council members asking for our support. So be it. I'm happy to state on the record who it is, since I've created some curiosity. But they want us to support it. So both CD 13 and CD 15, and we're going to support it. I sense. I'll make a motion that we adopt special 10:15 a.m. special 1, seconded by Commissioners Cabello and Davis. Any objection? Without objection, that'll be the order on 10:15 special 1. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Agenda item, let's go to 10:45 special. So, Mr. Mendoza, have we cleared the desk on 10:15 special 1?
Yes.
Okay, then we can call the roll on 10:45 special 1.
Commissioners Garcia, Cabello, James, and Davis are present. We have a quorum, and there's speaker cards on item 1.
Okay, we do have speaker cards on 1. General public comment on 10:45 special 1, Mr. Herman.
Now that we have your attention, and based on my ability to rule under the 2nd District Court's opinion, based on my opinion, we find out and conclude by a majority vote what we stand for in this country. How we plan to authorize the authority and license agreement of whether or not, how we not, or do we not subject ourselves to criminalizing ourselves under the Brown Act. And we can separate ourselves as human beings or not, or be just the simple assholes that we become. But understandably, I am not a judge. But in my faith in God, one God, the Alpha, the Omega, I can definitely make this the end. But as you see, each moment I spend venting and ranting my mind out to explain to the public how corruption, waste, fraud, and the potential for bribery and money laundering will eventually come to a stop. The Bureau of Sanitation and its reports will at one time soon regain its equal treatment to allow those in our community who are non-white, non-black, non-Asian, and especially non-veterans to communicate effectively here
2 minutes.
on this point.
Thank you, Mr. Herman. Mr. Spindler, your general public comment on 1045 Special 1.
We got so many meetings, we don't know what to do anymore. So you can look today, let's talk about snitches. Let's talk about a little pussy in a wheelchair called Paul Manafort. You got Paul Manafort right
We
here.
actually are talking about, oh, go ahead. It's general public comment, but
Yeah.
you are talking about public works, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm talking about snitches. FBI snitches. See, now, what you do is you take a man like Paul Manafort. You ever met him? How about Davis? You ever met Paul Manafort? Nah, you don't. You're not up in the... Years ago, I met that nigga. Years and years ago, and he was just a tiny little tadpole nigga. He wasn't what he is now. But he was a big badass. Today, look at him now, in a wheelchair, groveling. I apologize, Your Honor. I'm so sorry for what I did. And he gets another 4 years stacked
Mr.
on
Spindler,
the
it is general public comment,
That's right.
but we are the Department of Public Works.
I'm talking about crime, which is what you're committing. That's why I'm here talking about this shit. Now, see, former federal prosecutor Kevin James don't want you to know that he's going to serve 7.5 years in federal prison. And then Paul Manafort today got re-indicted for a third time to get stacked. We call it stack and pack. That's what the FBI calls it. We's going to stack and pack a snitch because our snitch didn't give us enough shit. So just remember, Mitchell Englander, wherever you are, you're listening to me right now, Mitchell Englander, use a stack and pack. They're going to stack and pack your ass, Mitchell Englander, unless you got good shit on Jose
2 minutes.
Huizar, that piece of shit.
Agenda item number 1, authority to exercise month-to-month El Sobrante landfill. Recommending that the board exercise the month-to-month option for up to 6 months until September 16, 2019 to the contract with USA Waste of California doing business as Waste Management El Sobrante landfill for disposal services of residual municipal solid waste. Mr. Spindler, you have a card in on number 1.
But let's talk about the most important thing that we do is when we pull that magic handle on our thrones, it results in the elimination of shit from our lovely homes into the sewers. For you to clean, you clean my shit up, and we know it. You're cleaning up Mike Bonnen's drug needles he flushes down into the ocean. You also do it for Glenn Dake. You flush his condoms down And we thank you so much for the good work, because imagine if you went to Eric Garcetti's house and you had all of that stuff in the garbage. It would smell worse than shit. It would be a toxic dump requiring an EPA permit to clean up these fucking faggot drug-using cocksuckers and criminals, yes. So what we do, we go into the toilet and we flush. And we don't flush with the urinals like you do. We have power flushes. So in our house, including Mr. Spindler, we don't use an environmental, we use a power flush. That's what it sounds like, Niagara Falls. Every half an hour in the Getty Mansion. More drugs down the near. More condoms. More shredded documents. More drug needles. More of the evidence and the laundered money occasionally if it's seasoned with drugs on it so the FBI can't find it. And then you catch it and then you bury it in landfills so the pretty little ocean creatures can't eat it, because they will eat it and fart it out and then they will wash up and die on
2
the
minutes.
shores. Protect our oceans. Thank you.
Mr. Herman on number 1.
As we make many attempts to discard waste, it's really impossible to do so. Why? Because the element of corruption involves padding people's wallets. The bigger the padding, the better the service. Kind of like Roto-Rooter when it sticks its hose up your ass and flushes you down several times because you don't know how to use a snake to drain your plumbing. So the Roto-Rooter man comes and sticks his big 3/4-inch snake into your pipe to flush the shit and waste down, the way Glenn Dake has done to this city, living off the back of Eric Garcetti, your mayor, not mine, because I don't believe in a cock-sucking mayor like this. Cocksucker should be helping you guys gain the floor here to assist your constituents to be more polite, more apparently gentle, and tone down the intensifiers. So if you would just cut us a fucking check, pay Mr. Spindler to get the fuck out of here, give Mr. Herman his fucking Section 8, the two fucking morons get the fuck out of here and start flushing their toilets like the Niagara Falls.
Mr. Potter. You're here on 1045 Special 1.
That is correct. I'm here
Oh, it's
for the
1045 Special 2.
1045 special,
Yeah.
item 1.
But we're talking about El Sobrante.
That is correct.
We'll call it that one. Now we're on the same page.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Good morning, President James, Commissioners Cabello, Davis, and Garcia, Bureau Representatives, City Attorney, and Executive Officer. I'm Robert Potter, Division Manager for Solid Resources Support Services Division of LA San and the Environment. The item before you this morning is for the authority to exercise the month-to-month option for up to 6 months with USA Waste of California, doing business as Waste Management El Sobrante Landfill for disposal services of municipal solid waste. The original contract was executed on March 17th, 2014, which was for 5 years with 2 5-year renewal options, as well as a month-to-month renewal option for up to 6 months. Waste Management El Sobrante was contracted for 300 to 600 tons per day originally. However, more recently, with the stipulated order of abatement over our primary landfill, Sunshine Canyon, we have had to use El Sobrante at a rate of about 1,500 tons per day, which is transferred out of our Clark's facility in downtown LA. The stipulated
And Bob, that's because why again?
The stipulated order that was placed on Sunshine Canyon landfill.
Got it.
They have restrictions of no dumping prior to 6.
I remember that.
All
yeah.
that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The stipulated order of abatement over Sunshine Canyon landfill is expected to be lifted June of 2019. A South Coast Air Quality Management District hearing has been set for March 19th, and we will continue to track the issue.
Is there, sorry to interrupt you along the way, but
No, it's fine.
I know that we were kind of, some years ago, Republic was running that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we were kind of monitoring it along the way when Republic was, maybe still are, running it, and then the stipulation was put into place. Stipulation expires in June. Do we have any, I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to ask this question, but I'm going to. And I know we're calling for speculation, but do we have any idea or any intel or any intuition as to whether or not the matters will have resolved such that the restrictions on them will be lifted?
My answer directly would be no, we don't have inside information. We do have information related to the operations and how they've changed during this stipulated order with their complaints in the NOVs. We monitor all the hearings, and then we will monitor the one that's coming up in March, which will probably be the precursor to the decision on what will happen in June. So we may have a better idea then.
Can I put it this way? As far as we know, or we know of no reason as to why the restrictions would not be lifted in June.
That's correct.
Got it. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. LA Sand and Waste Management have been in negotiations over the terms of the next 5-year contract, renewal option of this contract. We began these talks last year. However, such negotiations have been drawn out a little longer than expected, but we have come to a resolution. We do have an agreement.
And Bob, is the reason that you're here on a special because look, I know what happens. I've negotiated lots of settlement agreements and lots of contracts in my 30 years now in professional life. Sometimes a deadline like March 17th can cause the parties to react in more of a priority, hurried manner than maybe the months or years before. Were we just facing a deadline and finally the parties got together and you guys were able to work out terms, but we ended up in a situation where we needed to put it on a special because we were coming up on the deadline? Or were there other factors?
I would say there's two elements, right? So we were negotiating the 5-year, the longer solution. And because that took time going back and forth with the negotiations, and there was other negotiations that they were engaged in at the same time, so it was dragging out the process. In order for us to be able to execute the next 5 years, this contract has to be active. The avenue that we had for the short-term solution was to execute the month-to-month. So by executing the month-to-month, then we'll be coming back with and that's my next line.
Okay, so I jumped ahead of you a little bit.
No,
so
it's quite all right.
This is a bridge to the longer term negotiation.
Yeah, that is 100% correct.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so however, the negotiations were drawn out longer, but we have come to resolution on our pricing for the next 5 years. So that part of the contract is done. We'll be back to the board to execute the 5-year option with the new terms in the next 2 to 3 months. Okay. So this is the bridge for that. We did realize late in the process, so we were going through this process, and then we realized, boy, that 17th is coming, so then we started this secondary process to get this month-to-month in place to protect keeping the contract active so we can initiate the next 5-year contract. This month-to-month will keep the contract active and we'll keep the terms of the original contract while we finalize the new 5-year agreement.
Yes, yeah.
The amount of the 6 months is estimated to be $6.9 million for disposal fees. There will be no impact on the general fund as these services will be provided through the Solid Waste Resource Revenue Fund. If you have any more questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Well, and I'll just add the fact that our limited agenda on Friday forced you guys to an earlier date today, so it's not like we weren't all part of the process here. However, anytime you wait for the last day before the end of a contract, there's risk.
Yes.
So, but thank you for that explanation. Commissioner Cabello?
Thank you, President James. Mr. Potter, I'm curious if what's been taken into account in the renegotiations, let me try to explain this, see it in my head so I can explain it clearly. Right now, we're more dependent in El Sobrante because of the SOA at Sunshine Canyon, correct?
Correct.
If you are renegotiating for the next 5-year option, we're not doing it based on the assumption that we're going to have the same number of tonnage that we currently do because we are assuming that, or we're hoping that the SOA will be lifted. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. So, just so we're clear on the two contracts, there's limitations on the original Sunshine Canyon contract. If there's no restrictions on them, then there's stipulated tonnages that have to be put into two different places. But we did take into account the fact that we may need them for larger tonnages, so we modified, or we ensured that that was available to us when we did this next negotiation. So just to protect and ensure that we had places to take our trash.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Cabello. Bob, you think you guys are back, what, in the next 2 months on the long-term contract?
Yeah, it's next in queue to be finalized with contract administrations.
Okay. Will we know by, June won't be here yet. It'll be close. But will we know much more on the status of Sunshine and their potential restrictions? Or do we need to really wait till June?
I think we'll get a sense in March when they have the hearings of the...
Oh, they're having hearings this month.
I think it's is it March 19th? That's why I have great staff behind me.
On Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, they're having hearings. Okay.
Yes, and we should hear because both sides will present, and we've seen changes in their operations that have been a positive step.
So that will have concluded by the time you approach us in a couple of months with the 5-year renewal.
The hearings will be, the stipulated order is in place until June.
Yeah,
so that is, but they could make decisions at that hearing to remove those or change them or extend them. We don't know exactly what will happen.
We're not going to have any less information, that's for sure.
No, we will not.
Okay. Then I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item special 2, seconded by Commissioner Cabello. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt special 2. Thank you, Mr. Potter. Thank you to your team that's here today. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Mr. Mendoza, have we cleared the desk today?
Yes, you have.
We have no more meetings today, so we are adjourned. Thank you.